Happy Monday, everybody. So, today I want to talk about 5 techniques that we can use to help with weight loss. So, first, I want to talk about self care, which is a buzzword these days. According to PsychCentral.com, self care is an activity we do deliberately to take control of our emotional, mental, and physical health, or something that gives us energy, not something that sucks energy from us. For nurses in particular, focusing on self care can help prevent nurse burnout, and it can help us with our weight loss as well. Personally, I do not enjoy bubble baths and champagne, which is what I imagine in my head as self-care. That's the picture that I always had painted, and that's not me. Not me at all. That may be you. That's awesome. You do you. But my self-care is going for a manicure or pedicure. I'm not like I don't wear a lot of jewelry, like I don't do my hair, like I don't do stuff like that, but something about like sitting there and letting somebody rub on my feet after I've been on my feet all day long, that's self-care. Working out at the gym by myself with my headphones on, zoned out, that's my self-care. Grocery shopping by myself, yes. And a weekend with my husband, yes. Without our kids, yes. I love my kids. I love them to death. But sometimes I have to reconnect with myself, reconnect with my husband. So that's my self-care. But you know what? You do you. Whatever your self-care is, that's you. And I would like for y'all to drop a line and let me know what your self-care is. But I did want to talk about 5 self-care techniques that we can all employ, are all put into practice. One of them is mindfulness. For me, this is a hard thing for me to do because I feel like I never have time to sit and be quiet and think, but I have to purposefully make myself do this. Mindfulness allows us to tune in to our bodies instead of disconnecting from our bodies. Really like paying attention to what we're feeling, what we're dealing with. Mindfulness is a great practice, especially when we struggle with overeating or stress eating. It's a great practice to use before you take that first bite of the Oreo cookie or the first bite of chips, because it's just like a downhill slide after the first bite, for me especially. Before I know it, whole sleeve of Oreos is gone, and I'm thinking, what, where did this, how is this a positive thing for me? Where did this get me other than feeling guilty, even more guilty about what I'm doing? And that's not to say having an Oreo or eating some chips, if that's your guilty pleasure, then you do it, but do it in moderation, because excess guilty pleasures is what has a negative effect on our bodies, and our minds also. Sleep is the second self-care technique. A minimum of 7 hours to help your body recover. Sleep helps reduce stress levels. It helps with our mental health, helps improve immune function, which is things, especially nurses, we need our immune system. We need our mental health, and we need to be able to reduce our stress levels because we're all stressed to the max. Particularly a couple of things that you can do is reduce caffeine and sugar before bedtime, preferably, if we can, about 7 to 8 hours before bedtime. Cut off your caffeine intake, because it will take us a while to get rid of the caffeine, or take a while for our bodies to get rid of the caffeine. No laptops, cell phones, computers, or TVs in the bedroom. This is particularly because the blue light stimulates our brains, and it can impede our ability to fall asleep, stay asleep, and it reduces sleep quality through the night. Movement is another self-care technique that we can all benefit from. Moving or exercise. I know sometimes people think exercise is a cuss word. It's really not, I promise. A minimum of 15 minutes of doing something that elevates your heart rate 3 to 5 days a week. I know some of you work 12-hour shifts, and you don't get the luxury of getting a 30-minute break. And that's fine. Like, that's fine. You can still you can still do your 15 minutes on your days off. And if you can step off the floor for 15 minutes, you have a cool nurse friend that'll cover your patients, go up and down the steps. Go do a lap around the hospital. I don't know where you work, big hospital, small hospital. Like, just do something that'll elevate your heart rate, make you feel better, get a little bit of sunshine maybe, and give you a little extra energy to get through your shift. Pick something that you enjoy and can do and will stick to. If you don't like running, don't run. If you don't like walking, don't walk. If you don't like, or if you like dancing, go dance. Like, whatever you can stick to, you do that. If an accountability partner is your thing, like, find somebody, get somebody to start this journey with you. Sometimes you need that person to pull you out of the bed and be accountable to. Number 4, fuel your body with nutrient-dense, minimally processed foods. I know you think, oh, I've heard this before, but it's that important. Just a couple of ideas for quick snacks at work. Personally, I like to use a fork or a spoon just because I know where my hands have been, and I don't, even though I wash them, sometimes it kind of freaks me out. So, I personally prefer things that I can use a spoon or a fork. So, cottage cheese and pineapple, or apple and peanut butter. I just put the apple on the fork and dip it in the peanut butter, or vice versa. Or you can do apple and cheese, carrots and hummus. You do have to touch carrots, but it's your personal preference, whatever you want to do. But that's just a couple of ideas. And then cook at home. You know what you put in your food if you cook at home, and that in and of itself can really help with your weight loss, and knowing what goes in your food, and not a lot of crazy ingredients that we can't even pronounce. And then the 5th thing is just say no. Like, don't obligate yourself to something that's going to drain you. I personally don't like to entertain. Now, I can talk in a group of people all day long, like conversate, just general chit chat. Like, my kids are trying to pull me out of church. Like, Mama, stop talking. Let's go. It's time to go. But I thoroughly enjoy speaking to people. But when it comes to me entertaining with food and stuff like that, I get tore out of the frame. Like, it is awful. So I don't obligate myself to those things. Now, when it comes to helping around church, sorry, ambulance. When it comes to helping around church, or, just my family in general, like, that's something that invigorates me, that gives me energy, that makes me happy. So I've come to realize what things suck the energy from me and what things give me energy. So I just challenge you to take note of those things also. So in conclusion, no, really, self-care is really important. So I would just, try to be mindful, try to increase the amount of sleep that you're getting, even though I know it's very difficult. Try to move, fuel your body with foods that are going to give you energy and not drain you, and say no to things that are going to drain you, and say yes to things that are going to give you energy. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope y'all have a wonderful Monday, and can't wait to get to know each and every one of y'all. See ya. Have a good day. Bye.